Hey guys, Scott here, coming back to you with another video. And today I'm excited to share with you my most recent vintage action figure haul. I was lucky enough maybe 6 weeks ago, maybe 5 weeks ago, before this craziness started, I met a fellow collector through Facebook Marketplace and I was able to get my hands on a really cool lot of vintage action figures and accessories, and I'm looking forward to sharing those with you. But before we get into that, I just want to take the opportunity, if you are watching this, to first of all say thank you very much. And secondly, I hope you guys are doing well. If you're watching this, I hope you're staying healthy and happy and keeping your sanity during this craziness we're all experiencing at the moment. And also, I'm filming this on Easter Sunday, so I just want to take the opportunity to wish you and your family a very happy Easter. Now, I'm not sure that I mentioned this in my previous video, but for the most part, I'm a loose action figure collector. I do have some mint on card figures, and I'm sure at some stage I will share those carded figures with you. But for the most part, I like collecting loose action figures with accessories and loose complete figures wherever I'm lucky enough to get my hands on them. For me, collecting comes back to nostalgia, and it comes back to celebrating these symbols of my childhood. As a kid, I obviously didn't leave my action figures on their cards or leave my figures in the boxes. I can absolutely appreciate the box art and the package art and the card art on a lot of these vintage action figures. And if I do happen to pick up a carded figure at the right price, more often than not, I will leave that packaged. But for the price and for the ability to display that figure with its accessories, I do prefer to collect loose figures, and loose figures with accessories is what I'm going to be showing you today. Now, the figures that I picked up in this recent haul, for the most part, fall into two different toy lines. You've got 1991 Toxic Crusaders, and you've got 1988 through to 1991 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, both toy lines from Playmates. Now, as I mentioned in my previous video, Ninja Turtles was one that was very close to my heart as a kid, but also one that's close to my heart as an adult collector. As for Toxic Crusaders, I've actually got very few Toxic Crusaders. A couple of loose Toxic Crusaders without accessories, but seeing these 4 or 5 figures that I'm going to show you, seeing the condition that they were in and the number of accessories that they had at the price that this collector was asking for them, I couldn't say no. And the fact that they came with some other Ninja Turtles, some other accessories, was just a bonus for me. And while I think of it, a big shout out to Brett, who sold me these toys. If by some stroke of fortune Brett happens to be watching this, thanks very much, mate. It was really good to meet you. As I mentioned in my previous video, the opportunity that this hobby gives us to connect with other people who share this same passion, just to sit and shoot the breeze and talk toys, is an aspect of the hobby that I really enjoy. Brett was a very cool guy, a really knowledgeable collector of not only vintage toys and Lego, but also vinyl, and it was really cool to have the opportunity to meet Brett. Okay, without any further delay, let's get into the vintage action figures. The way I'll approach this is I will firstly show you guys the 4 or 5 figures that I couldn't say no to, the figures that commanded my attention and made me buy this lot of toys. And then we'll go through the other figures which are just a bonus. Some of these figures are duplicates in my collection, or some of them I didn't have but I wasn't actively searching for. Okay, the first figure, and the figure that really drew my attention to this lot of action figures, is this 1991 Toxic Crusaders Toxie figure. Toxie is in really good condition, and he's complete with all 3 of his grenades, his mop and his shield, and also his little mate Blobby, which is his glow-in-the-dark accessory. All of these Toxic Crusaders come with a glow-in-the-dark accessory, which really sets it off, and I'm really looking forward to displaying them once I do get my toy room set up in the dark. These glow-in-the-dark accessories are really going to pop. The second figure I want to show you guys is the Junkyard figure. Junkyard is also complete. He has his garbage gun, his slogan stick, he's got his bone, and Junkyard's glow-in-the-dark accessory is this rolled up newspaper, which is, if I could just get that to focus, is a really, really cool accessory. You can see it's the Toxic News. And Junkyard, like Toxie, is in excellent condition. Very little paint wear, very little loss of color. And the only criticism of the condition of the Junkyard figure is, for some reason, the previous owner, whether it was Brett or someone who owned it before Brett, has put staples through the slogan sign. So I'm not sure how or why that's happened, but that's the only problem with the condition of the junkyard figure. Next, we've got one of the villains in the Toxic Crusaders line, and that is this Psycho figure. Psycho is also complete. He's got his chainsaw, he's got his gun, he's got all of his tubing at the back there, and he also came with his mask. Now, unfortunately, one of the pipes on Psycho's head has broken. This is probably my fault more than anything. When I picked up this figure lot, Psycho was wearing his mask, and I can only assume that this mask has been on Psycho for the best part of 20 or 30 years. And I pulled that off, and unfortunately in doing so, I have broken one of the pipes on Psycho's head. So some super glue should do the trick there before I display these figures. I'll definitely give them a clean. Like I said, they're in great condition, but I'll give them a clean and I'll try and repair that pipe on Psycho's head there. And the final Toxic Crusaders figure in this action figure toy haul is this Radiation Ranger figure. This figure's also in fantastic condition. He's got his rifle, he's got his shield, all of his tubing, and he also has his life support pack there. Once again, also in fantastic condition. Radioactive Ranger's glow-in-the-dark accessory is one of these landmines. I'm missing one of these landmines, so this is the only item that this figure is missing. The only thing stopping this figure from being complete is an additional second landmine. But once again, he's in fantastic condition, very little marks and very little paint loss. So I'm very happy with this one as well. Okay, so those are the 4 Toxic Crusaders that came with this haul, and those were the figures that really made me take notice and purchase this figure lot. The other figures that I'll show you now are more of a bonus, but also very happy to get them nonetheless. Next we have a complete 1988 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael figure. I mentioned this in my previous video that this is one of my favorite figures in my favorite toy line, or one of my top 2 favorite toy lines. I was a huge Ninja Turtles fan as a kid, not only the cartoon, the films, but the action figures as well. And this was the first action figure I received. Obviously not this particular one, but this was the first Ninja Turtle that I received as a kid. Next, we've got this 1989 Metalhead figure. This figure is in very good condition overall. He has his party pack, he has his radar, and he's just missing his Robo Chucks to be complete. He's got his belt there. One feature of Metalhead that I really like is the translucent brain section of the figure. When this area is held up to light, these eyes glow red. And this is an action feature of this figure that I really, really enjoy. But I do already have a complete Metalhead in my collection, so this figure will be cleaned up and he'll either be sold or he'll be traded for other figures that I need to complete my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection. Next, we've got the 1988 Bebop figure, one of the evil henchmen of the Shredder. Now, this is a figure that I always wanted as a kid. Since then, I've been lucky enough to acquire a complete Bebop. So this is an additional one that I will look to either clean up and sell, or I'll keep to trade, or I'll keep for backup accessories. Bebop has his drill gun, he has his shield. The only thing stopping this Bebop figure from being complete is his knife. But he's in very nice condition, and I'm very happy to have picked up this figure as well. Now, we can't have Bebop without his good mate Rocksteady. Now, once again, this is a duplicate for me. I already have a Rocksteady in my collection that's actually my childhood Rocksteady. So this is once again a double that I will use hopefully to trade for more figures that I need for my collection. Now, this next item is actually something that I did spot in the listing for this toy lot on Facebook Marketplace that was actually one of the key things that also made me interested in buying the figure lot, and that is this Krang Walker from 1989. Now, I already have this figure. The Krang that I have is my childhood figure, but it is missing this hose section that connects the Walker to the ray gun. So I will be taking this hose and using it to complete my Krang figure from my childhood, and that's also something that I'm very happy to receive because I have been having some difficulty getting my hands on this hose section here. And now finally we're starting to get into the scraps of the haul. So next we've got a 1988 Donnie figure. This figure is in okay shape. His belt not so much. His belt's broken at the front and is missing the holster for his bow staff. So I'll give this guy a clean up. He's got his karma and he's got what I think is called a fist dagger. So I'll give this guy a bit of a clean and we'll see if we can get a couple of bucks on eBay or use him to trade for a figure that I'm looking for to add to my Ninja Turtles collection. Next we've got the 1988 Cheapskate. This is one of the first vehicles in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy line. Now when I first saw this in the Facebook listing, I was actually quite pleased because I don't have this item in my collection, but it is a little bit rough. It's missing its handle, it's missing its decals, and I'm not quite sure how the previous owner's done this, but the little pegs that you use to keep figures standing on the skateboard have actually broken off. So it appears that someone pulled a figure off a little bit too rough and those pegs have broken off, which is a bit of a disappointment, but hey, I'm not complaining. It's something new that I don't have already in my collection. All right, and the final Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figure in the toy lot is this 1988 Shredder figure. Shredder is a little bit banged around. Look, I've already got a couple of Shredders, so at this point in time, this one will probably get given away. But hey, it's just a bonus at this stage. And Shredder comes with one of his weapons, and he comes with his belt. Okay, the final figure in this toy lot was a bit of a random one, and we've got a Dino Riders figure. So this is the Emperor Krulos figure. He's the leader of the evil Valorians, the villains in the Dino Riders toy line. Now, this is not something that I was necessarily chasing, but this was more just a bonus. I am a fan of the Dino Riders toy line from Tyco. I think it's a really, really cool toy line, and I'm sure at some point I will start collecting. But in the meantime, it's nice to have the leader of the villains, the Emperor Krulos figure here. And that's it for the action figures in this bulk toy lot. But it also came with some accessories. Some accessories are items that I'm very familiar with, some not so much. Most Ninja Turtles, but some also random stuff there, and I'll quickly show you those before I wrap this video up. Okay, firstly I'll show you the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles accessories, and then I might need your help in identifying some of the other accessories. First of all, we've got a couple of wacky action accessories here. These are for the wacky action Michelangelo figure from 1989. I've already got this Michelangelo figure and he's complete with all the accessories he needs. So these are doubles at this point in time, but hey, it never hurts to have these. And I'm also more than happy to trade if it means getting some other accessories that I am chasing down. Next, we've got General Trag's rifle. Once again, I've already got this accessory, but hey, it never hurts to have a double. And if anyone happens to watch this video and does need this, mention it in the comments and I'm happy to send this out. Next, we've got a couple of Ninja Turtle belts. So the first one is this 1988 Michelangelo Series 1 belt, which is in very nice condition. So this is probably a good spare for me because these do tend to break down over time. So it never hurts to have an extra Michelangelo belt. And then we've also got a Leonardo belt. Now I think this might be from one of the later releases where the letter of the turtle had that circle around it. So I'm not sure if this is a 1988 belt or whether this is a later release of the Series 1 figure belt. But again, that's a spare. I've got no need for that at this point in time. So that will either be traded or given away or sold at this point in time. And obviously it's incomplete because it's missing the shoulder straps. Next, we've got some katana accessories. So they are slightly different in the handle. I believe that one of these is the Shredder sword and one is the Leo sword. And I actually have been chasing an additional Leonardo sword, so I'm quite happy to get both of those. And that's it for the Ninja Turtle accessories. And now we have some other random odds and ends, some of which I've identified, some of which I haven't. This next one is one that I've actually been looking to get my hands on. It's from the Hasbro WWF wrestling action figure line, and it's a $1 million belt belonging to the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and I actually have been chasing down one of these. So I was very happy that coincidentally this just happened to be included within this toy lot. And then there was this accessory. Now, I was stumped on what this accessory was for quite some time. For some reason, I thought it might have been a Ghostbusters, a Kenner Ghostbusters accessory because the handles look quite similar to the handles on the Kenner Real Ghostbusters Proton packs. However, randomly, I came across a picture of a carded Tycho Crash Test Dummies figure, and I managed to identify this as belonging to the 1992 Bull Crash Test Dummy figure. Now, that's actually coincidentally a figure that I have, and I also own his other accessory, and the only thing stopping my Bull Crash Test Dummies figure from being complete was this item here. I think this is called a crash dummy snare or a junk bot snare, so I'm very happy to get my hands on this, and this now allows me to complete my Bull Crash Test Dummy figure. And next we're left with 3 accessories that I've got no idea about. I don't know what line they're from, I don't know which characters they go with. Hey, if anybody happens to be watching this and knows what these accessories are from or knows what they belong to, what they go with, if you could mention it in the comments, I'd be really appreciative of that. The first one is this glow-in-the-dark missile launcher. Now, like I mentioned earlier, all of the Toxic Crusaders figures come with one glow-in-the-dark accessory. So my first instinct was that this actually belongs to one of the Toxic Crusaders that weren't included in this lot, because all the Toxic Crusaders in this haul come complete with one glow-in-the-dark accessory. So at first I thought this might belong to a Toxic Crusader figure that I don't have. But after doing some research, I still can't identify it. I can't work out who it goes with. So again, if anybody knows, please let me know in the comments. Next, I've got this gun. Once again, no idea what this goes with, no idea which toy line this belongs to or which figure this belongs to. And again, I've got an axe here that for the life of me, I can't identify. So again, just finally, if anybody knows what these are, please do let me know in the comments. And that's it, guys. Just wanted to share with you quickly my last substantial action figure lot that I picked up. Once again, big thank you to Brett. If you happen to be watching this, thank you. It was great to meet you. And that's it, guys. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your support. Wishing you a very happy Easter and wishing you health and happiness during this crazy time, guys. And I'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.